This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV, coming to you live on Wednesday night. This is our Wednesday night show where we're going to talk some gear, and then we've got a special segment we're going to be doing with Steve Moody. Steve Moody is hosting an event called DJs Beat Cancer. You can find that on Facebook. You can find it in the link below, in the description below. We've got it there. But great event. DJ Educational Conference. This is all set up to help and be a fundraiser. It's a fabulous thing, and Steve's going to tell you more about it. Before we get to that, though, I've had a lot of people asking about running music video, or I run music video with all my shows at weddings, mainly weddings. And there's times where we're having a screen where we've got a traditional setup where the screen's right there, and there's times where I've had as many as 4 different screens set up, and all, of course, synced and such. So I've got some of the stuff here, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that. Then we'll get into Steve and wrap it up for tonight. So first off, most of the time, of course, ideally, I'm coming out of my my computer now. I've got a MacBook Pro, Retina actually, and we're coming out with VGA, HDMI. I just looked over here and saw the VGA. But anyway, we're doing HDMI, but we're going to talk about VGA because when you get into distance runs, you find that VGA is a little bit easier to do. First off, I've got a very simple VGA connectors right here. What these are is, we'll just show these to you a little bit. Just 2 little connectors. It is VGA male to VGA male, and what you do is you use a Cat5. These are cheap connectors. You can buy these on Amazon, wherever. I bet you if I paid $2 for these, I'd be surprised. You can run about a 50-foot Ethernet wire with these because they're using Ethernet. I prefer with the Cat6 when I'm doing things such as this, because I think it just gives me a little bit more range with that. I've run some Cat5 because it's dirt cheap. I've run Cat5, which worked with other applications, but when I use a Cat5, I'm only getting about 25 feet. Really, I've got a 35-footer that I've had made for these, and if I'm running and I need something quick, and if I don't, especially if it's going like under a door, if the wire's got to go under a door, I tape it down, and I really don't, I want to have something that if it gets beat up, I really don't care. I use these if it's the right run. So that's one option. Again, a Cat5, I have different color Cat5. This one, I think this is definitely a Cat5, yeah. I have white. I've got some browns. I've got some blacks. I've got some blues, which the blue I've never used except when I'm doing like a teen event where I want the wires to be seen. But I've got a lot of them. White is what I use most of the time. So I took a picture, and this is what was up on the internet over the weekend. We did a show where I had my video was running. I had my system was set up, and then I had, gosh, it must have been about a 60 feet to one side, and then it jumped over to the other side, which is about another 80 to 90 feet away. Yeah, probably about 40 feet and then about 90 feet. So I was in the middle, and I had a screen on this side of me here. I don't want to go too far, and over here. So what I used is I came out of the board, and again, I had to use VGA. I like HDMI because I think it does give me a little bit nicer image. Even though the resolution of the videos are all the same, it just seems to be a little bit sharper. But I had to go VGA. So I use this guy. This is from StarTech.com. It's actually 2 pieces. It is the first device, and if you can see this a little bit, it has our input right here, which you're seeing, and I'll talk about that in a second. And it has a monitor 1 output and a monitor 2 output. So what you end up doing with this is you have to hook up power. It's a little small wall wart. You hook up your power to this, then you can run your computer to this. One of the negative things with this, and I've got it hooked up, is that the input on this guy is a male input, whereas the typical computer side of it is going to be a female. So you have to get a gender changer. You have to go get a female to female so that you can hook your traditional wires, or you need to get what would be kind of considered an extension for the a VGA cable that would plug in here. So your input comes in here. Next, it will split it, and it's doing amplification, a little amplification, and it's splitting. So you can basically come out of this. Now you come in, and now you can go to say projector 1 and projector 2. And I've actually run 50 feet of wire out of this with no problem whatsoever. So I came into this with like 35 feet of wire from my laptop, came to this, then I went 50 feet to projector 1, 50 feet to projector 2. Then you'll see that there is a Ethernet connection there. And here's the other one, Ethernet connection, power. There's also on this particular one, there's audio in and outs. I don't use that with mine. I've got, this is my second one. I've actually got 2 of these. I like to have a spare. The other one doesn't have audio. But again, power in, you run that Ethernet from the first one to this one. Now I've got monitors 3 and 4. So I can come out of 3 at 50 foot to one projector, 4, 50 foot to another projector. I've got 4 projectors. They're all synced. They're all running, and they all look fabulous. I've been very, very happy. This is giving me a nice high-resolution image. Again, VGA, so it could be better, but when you're if you're 10 feet away from the screen, 15 feet away from the screen or beyond, you really can't tell. So for running distances, this is my preferred thing because, and I don't have one. I've got one. This is a spare because you can run like 300 feet with that. So I've got my Cat 5 cable. I've got rolls of 50 and 100 feet, and then I have the little adapter here. And I won't be able to open it up quick and easy. No, we don't need to. Anyway, it's an adapter. It's Cat 5 to Cat 5 adapter, so you can plug and extend Cat 5 wires. I've extended up to 200 feet between those two components, and it's worked well. So a critical thing to have when you're playing with Cat 5. Now, if I would use this extender and try to extend with that cheap connection, it wouldn't work. So it only can be used with a higher end connection. I think these things are under $200 yet. When I bought the first one, they were cheaper. Once I started talking about them, then the second generation were more expensive. So yeah, isn't that the way the world goes? Anyway, a couple other things that I've got in my video kit bag here for doing shows is I've got this little guy. And let me see, what is this one is the RCA to VGA. So I've had some times where I've had people who wanted me to run, they've had a DVD player or something, and we needed to go in and go to a projector. This is something I throw in my bag, and I have it with me all the time. So basically, I can come in with an RCA, let's see the little bit, the composite, the yellow there, and then I can go to a projector if I want to. It's a fairly cheap, inexpensive thing online, but it's on a couple of occasions. Specifically, I had one where they had a karaoke player, and they really, really wanted to have that karaoke song played. I was able to use this. I went into the back of my projector, and then during the show, I switched from one input to that input and put their little karaoke thing up on the screen. They thought I was a hero. Yay, rah for them. That's one of the components. Another one that I use a lot, and this one actually, let's get the box open. I like to keep these things boxed when I'm not using them because I don't want them to be bouncing all around. This guy has actually come into use on a few occasions when I've been doing like a bar, and I have my computer and I'm feeding out the signal, and it goes to I want to have it so I'm using my screen, and maybe I want to do 2 or 3 TVs in the room. Well, what this guy does is this has VGA input, and it will bounce output to the RCAs, to the composite signal. So I'm coming in with VGA. Now what I've done on a couple of occasions is I come out of the laptop with the HDMI. I come into the HDMI, goes to the first projector. Then I have a splitter just before that first projector. The splitter then goes into a device that translates from HDMI to VGA. Then we go VGA to this guy. This feeds into the house satellite system because some of the bars in the area have that. Now all of a sudden I've got music videos on every TV in a place, and because they've got old TVs, they don't have newer stuff. So this was something that I've had. This is actually my 3rd one. I've actually burned 2 of them up already. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just evil. But it's a PC to video component device. Very nice. I picked that one up. Actually, I think at Radio Shack or somewhere. I'm sure you can get them all over again. But it was in one show, it was a lifesaver. But my preferred method, of course, is HDMI. Now, with HDMI, you've got the limitation of distance that you can't be running. You can't be running all over the world with HDMI. I can go 200 to 300 feet with the other. I don't need these anymore. I can go 200 to 300 feet and such with the StarTech units here, but HDMI most of the time I'm here and I'm just feeding two projectors. So what I have for that is I've got a little amplifier splitter here. This is a JTech Digital. Now there's a lot of these, you can find these, and what it is it has an input. So I run about a 3-foot HDMI into this. And then from that, then it splits into 2. And it's got a power input also because it's got a little bit of an amplification to it. And then it will I can run 2 50-foot HDMI cables from this to my two projectors. My HDMI cables that I have in my box, I've got 3, 6, 12, and then I get into a 25, 35, and 50. Online HDMI cables are fairly inexpensive. So ideally when I'm doing this guy, the splitter, I'm doing either 3 or 6 foot to get this somewhere, and then I'm going ideally the 35. If I can do the 25, I tried the 25. I have done the 50, and I've done it, and it's worked fine. But some people feel that when you're getting that longer distance, that starts to digitize a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. I've had pretty good luck with it, but my preferred is either the 25 or the 35. So it's 6-foot splitter, 35, or 6-foot splitter, whatever, or the 3-foot splitter, depending upon how tight or how small. I've used the StarTech version where I've had it where I've gone into the first one, and I've run one of these to my projector. Say if I was shooting videos right behind me, I've got a couple of venues where I literally set the projector up about 6 feet high, and I will do videos up on a white wall behind me. It's a great thing because, truthfully, it's a beautiful wall. It's nice, clean, flat white. I don't have to worry about screens on that one. So I ran this to my projector, and then I ran out of this with actually I went with the Ethernet out of this, and I went to put the other one about 100 feet over, and it fed into the house system. And they have different projectors around the room, but it was about 100 feet away to get to that to feed that projector. So the system was able to work with one of these feeding my projector, the other Ethernet to the other little box, and then monitor 3, whatever, was plugged into their system with BGA, and it went and worked wonderfully. So anyway, just some thoughts on that. A few pieces here. I've done a couple of videos on these. You can find those at youtube.com/discjockeynews. I think if you look for a BGA video, if you do a search for that on our Disc Jockey News YouTube area, you'll probably find some things on that where we've talked a little bit more, and I think it might even have a couple of them where I'm showing in the field of what they look like. So anyway, if you have more questions about that, put them in the description below, and we'll pick these up maybe in our Sunday night or one of the other episodes. So anyway, with no further ado, we're going to get on to talking to Steve Moody. Steve Moody and I had a chance to sit down. He's a very, very busy man. Part of it, you're going to hear why he's so busy is because of what he's putting together with this event coming up here on April 7th. Fabulous guy. I've known Steve for quite a while, and he's one of the writers for the Disc Jockey News. But just there's some people in this business, when you meet them, and they're genuine good people who are looking out for the betterment of the industry. Steve Moody's one of those guys, and if you haven't gotten a chance to meet him, that's one of those things you need to do. You need to meet Steve and the Big Daddy, and there's just so many guys that you'll meet in this world that are just so incredible. Yeah, if you've met them, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, let's go to our interview with Steve Moody, and we will be back tomorrow night, Thursday night, with our next episode and DJNTV. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV, and in this segment, we have got my good friend Steve Moody. Good evening, Steve.
Hey there, how are you?
Doing well, doing very, very well. Steve, you've got this really cool event coming up here. On what is it, April 7th, I believe it is. Can you tell us a little bit more about DJs Beat Cancer? Tell us about that. What's brought it on?
Sure. The whole idea came around every year. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society choose one little boy and one little girl to honor as their boy and girl of the year. Mm-hmm. So they make that decision about the kids, and then they ask several residents within the community that are pretty well known in the community to run in their honor to be man or woman of the year. So I was asked to run as man of the year. Okay. So the idea is that we're supposed to raise money through all these different fundraising activities, and then whoever raises the most money then becomes man of the year for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So rather than just ask people for handouts, my idea was, well, let's give them something in return. So we're doing several different events, and one of them is the DJs Beat Cancer Conference.
Nice. And where's that going to be held at?
So it's actually here in Maryland. It's in Graysonville. It's a beautiful waterfront hotel. It's actually it's the Holiday Inn because we wanted to find something that was inexpensive that people would be able to come to. Waterfront property, though. All the restaurants local are really nice, sitting on the water. So people that come in early, they can have a great experience to stay the night before, or those that are staying, the night of, can certainly go out for a great dinner afterwards. Lots of fun things to see and do right in that area. We've got guest speakers from all over. My initial thought was to do it all myself, and I started talking with my buddy Mike Walter, and he said, I don't know that I could listen to you for an hour 6 times in a row, So he said, why don't you let me come and help you with this? And I was like, that sounds great. So he was actually volunteered to be the first one, and then things just kind of took off from there. And, we got talking to Big Daddy, who is a cancer survivor, and he said, I'd love to come down and MC the day for you and be the host. Mike Weeder up in New Jersey, very good friend of ours. Jason Klock from Pennsylvania. Daryl Jacobson from New Jersey. All these guys just jumped right on board and said, we would love to help you. We'll do it for free so that all the proceeds that you make go directly to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is I mean, it's awesome. It's above and beyond anything that I could have thought. And people are coming from out of the woodwork, just donating different gifts and prizes for us to raffle off and giveaways. I mean, just about everybody who's a name within our industry that's written a book or has a DVD series. I mean, things like Randy Bartlett's 1% Solution. Bobby Morgenstein offered in some of his DVDs and CDs. So just everybody's been throwing things over this way to help us out. It's been great.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. That is incredible. What's the schedule? Have you gotten so far? Maybe not the exact, but what's the time?
Oh, yeah,
Morning?
I can tell you.
Yeah, starting time and ending time. What are you guys shooting for?
Their registration will start at 8:30. People will come in. The first seminar will be at 9 o'clock, and Mike Walter will be the keynote for the seminar for his. And his is all about social media and how to, it's constantly changing. Facebook, Twitter, the rules change like every day. So here's the latest from Mike on how to use social media to better your business, and not only better your business, but in some creative ways that none of us have probably thought about before. So I'm excited about that one myself. Yeah. I'm going to come on right after that. Mine's going to be about customer service and how to try to provide such a great level of customer service for your clients that not only will they be able to love what you've done for them. My phone is ringing, dude. I'm sorry. I'm turning it off right now.
No problem.
So it's about customer service, not only to benefit your current customer, but so that customer will tell so many others about you before you even get to their event or their wedding reception. They're going to say, wow, you guys got to use this guy. They're doing such great things for us. That's what we want to do.
Nice.
Jason Klock from Pennsylvania going to come on after that. I am ecstatic to see his seminar. Jason started coming to the Atlantic City Expo about a year after I did, and to see where he started and where he is now. I mean, he's got this small little empire going on in Pennsylvania. I'm so proud for him and happy. And I don't mean that to sound condescending. Like, I am genuinely proud for him and what he's done. It's amazing. And he's just a great guy. Couldn't happen to a greater guy. So he's going to share his background in business and business administration and how that has helped catapult his company, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Mike Weeder will be there to talk about wedding reception entertainment, some of the things that we do every time, the same old, the daddy-daughter dance, the mother-son dance, different ways of freshening it up a little bit so we don't do the same thing every time. And some things that, maybe we forgot about a long time ago, things that we used to do that were really good, and somehow or another they got lost in the shuffle. So he's going to refresh our mind on some of that.
Sure.
And then last but not least, it's a fun and games workshop with Jake that actually does that fun and games workshop in Atlantic City. So a lot of great party games and dances and a whole bunch of fun stuff, a great way to end the day. Sure. Chauvet came on as a sponsor. We have a Chauvet Lighting as one of the sponsors. DigiGames is a sponsor. They're providing the lunches for us. It's going to be outstanding, really.
Wow, it does. It sounds like a great day of content. If people want to find out more information or they want to order tickets or be involved that way, where would they go?
Sure. I mean, it's been a grassroots campaign kind of thing. It's just been promoted through Facebook. But if they look up on Facebook, DJs Beat Cancer, they'll find us there. My Facebook page has more information about it, so you can find me on Facebook at just Steve Moody DJ, or DJ Steve Moody on Facebook, or just give me a call. My phone number is 1-800-410-3013. The tickets are a $75 donation to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So even though you're paying that money, it's a donation. It's a tax-deductible donation. It's a win-win all the way around. It's a great day of content. You're paying $75 to come, but that money goes to cancer research, and you get to claim that off of your taxes too. Box lunch is included. I don't know of a better deal. I think it's a great deal. Yeah,
fabulous. I mean, and if they wanted to, they could write a check out for $100 or $150. It really, it's all
definitely. Send as much as you want.
Exactly.
Thousands of dollars.
Now, did you say something about the event is going to be recorded? Was that any?
So we have somebody that's coming in to record the show, and after everything's all said and done, people that can't make it to the conference, we want to make that available to them. The fundraising that I'm doing is a 10-week campaign, so it will only be available for a limited time because I can only do it for within this 10-week period that the fundraising campaign is going on. So after the actual conference itself, we'll have 8 weeks to sell them. So if anybody's interested at that point, we'll have more information on where to send a check and everything else after the concert or after the conference. Which is going to be a concert because Big Daddy's rocking the joint. So
he will be. I love Big Daddy. He is such a fabulous man, and as you mentioned earlier, a cancer survivor. So he personally knows the struggle and such. I could see he's always a big supporter of the industry, and he's always a big supporter of education. I mean, he's probably going to be over the top with this event. It'll be fun.
Well, the thing is, he and I talked about this. everybody has been affected some way or another, whether it's either themselves like he has, or it's a family member, or a friend of the family. We all have. Everybody knows somebody that's gone through this. And so there's no reason to not be involved, especially the guys that are within driving distance. I mean, if you're within 3 to 4 hours of here, there's just no reason not to come. It's going to be an amazing day. I would love to get more of our local DJs. We have a lot of folks in our area that just kind of do it as a hobby for fun, but I would love for them to even come and see where they can take their business to the next level. A lot of them realize, they always say, I want to get to the next level, but they don't know how to do it. And this would be a great way for them to learn.
Oh yeah, for sure. Great content too. I mean, just even half, if you only had half of that content, it still would be a fabulous and beneficial day. And then you put it all together, oh my gosh. Great stuff.
Well, that's what I told Mike. I said, when I go to a normal conference, I might get 2 seminars a day that are that really are for me, that I feel like, wow, I really got a lot out of that, a lot of meat, a lot of substance, and all 5 of these are going to be like that. I mean, there's no time for fluff. We got to get it all in and got to get it done, and all of us have talked about the fact we have to take the fluff out of the seminars and just give people lots of meat. People will be taking notes from the time the seminar starts till the time it's over. I mean, it's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, that's fabulous stuff. One last touching with the videos. Now, when people are buying the videos of the event, those will also be tax deductible because that's a donation towards.
Right.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Everything.
Perfect.
When people come the day of, we've got lots of raffles that we're going to be doing, like silent auction items and things like that. And again, all of that money, all tax deductible. So just it's a great business expense or a personal expense depending on how people are running their business, and the proceeds go to this great cause. I didn't know much about the LLS, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and one of the things that I found out from being involved in this is every type of cancer is terrible, really. Most other types of cancer, the research is for a specific type of cancer. For example, breast cancer is its own specific research. Mm-hmm. Colon cancer, prostate cancer, its own specific research. Because the LLS, the research they do is on blood cancer, their findings go to all of the other areas that are doing research on cancer, which is kind of nice. Like you know that money is not just helping a specific type of cancer, but all types of cancer,
sure.
Which I think is great. The little girl, her name is Colby. She is now, she's going to be 5 years old. She is in this middle of a multi-week, it's multi-month actually, treatment of everything from chemo to chemo injections, to all different medications. Oh, wow. This little girl is going through so much, but she's got just spunk and the biggest personality. And so when they asked me to do this and they told me who it was for, there was no way that I couldn't do it. I thought, well, all these other people that they asked are bankers, and they've got all these great contacts. I'm like, wow. And then they asked me, and Lori and I talked about it, and I thought, just it's an honor to be asked, and so I got to do whatever I can. And even if you don't win, I mean, my gosh, you're still helping along the way. And I would love to be able to show them that DJs from across the country came together and look at what we accomplished. I mean, a lot of times people, sadly, don't look at us in the best of lights. They say, oh, well, they're just a DJ, or they're just a that, or they're just a this. How nice to be able to say we all got together as a group and we accomplished something and raised this X amount of dollars, and we're donating that as a group. I think it makes us look really good.
Yeah.
And we are a good group of people, and people should know about it.
Yeah, for sure. You've got some good folks involved, and it'll be an exciting and fun event, that's for sure. Great stuff.
Definitely.
So one more time, if they want to find out information, they go to Facebook and look for
DJs Beat Cancer, or just look up me, DJ Steve Moody, or give me a call, 1-800-410-3013. If you don't have time to talk, my email address is really simple. It's just owner, OWNER, @stevemoody.com, and I'll get all the information that you need to you.
Sounds great, Steve. Thank you very much. I'm excited. I think I'm going to check and see what the flights are and come out and see you on the 7th.
Oh man, that would be great. I would love to have you guys here. Again, everybody, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that's made some sort of donation. We've had, like I said, all of these raffle and silent auction items come in, but in addition to that, several companies have just sent donation just to send a donation. Yeah. So thank you to everybody. You all know who you are, and most of you, don't do it to pat yourself on the back. You do it because you really wanted to do it. So I don't even feel like I need to name you by name, but you know who you are, and somebody else upstairs knows who you are too. And I know who you are. Thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Well, thank you, Steve, for your work and passion in the industry, because you have been a fabulous representative to the DJ industry, and I'm excited that others outside of our industry are seeing your passion and your drive and getting you included in things that'll make a difference in people's lives. That's really cool.
Well, I love what I do, and I thank you guys at Disc Jockey News, and really, you know, I talked with Big Daddy and Mike about this the other day. I've been very fortunate to be able to have been introduced to so many really good quality people within our industry. I know when I was growing up, my grandfather kind of started me in the business. He's the one that gave me the money to get started, and he, you know, went with me as the roadie and did everything. And he said, I just want you to be with good people. And I know he would be so proud that we really do have a good group of folks that we interact with. There's no doubt in my mind he's smiling down on me right now.
Yeah, great stuff. Good stuff. Well, again, thank you very much, Steve. We look forward to April 7th, and we'll probably spend a little more time here in a couple of weeks as we get a little closer. Well, I want to do something right before the show, once we figure out kind of more about the DVD side of it. But we'll talk one more time on this. But it's a great event. Those of you out there, again, go to Facebook, DJs Beat Cancer, find it, go there, buy tickets. We'd love to see you there on April 7th. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Steve Moody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.